Hi grade 12 WCED learners, we continue with our PAT phase 2 where we are going to be looking now at 5.1.3, which is that over there, and here it's a detail section drawn to a scale of 1:20, and you need to show the detail from the foundation to the roof on the cutting plane that passes through a wooden multi-panel sliding door. So you've got to put the cutting plane firstly through your multi-panel sliding door, which is going to be situated on your floor plan. So we will have to start there, and where you place it is very important. And then of course it must be through the veranda and the wooden pergola as well. So very important to note, by using break lines on either side, remember it's a section, a detailed section, and you need to use break lines. The detail section only needs to be wide enough to show the complete multi-panel sliding door, the end of the roof, including the rainwater items, and a 1.5 meter section of the veranda and pergola. So this is very important that you include all of this in your detail section. So before we even start with this, we need to go back to your floor plan, and we need to find the multi-panel sliding door, and you need to place your cutting line or your cutting plane through the multi-panel sliding door. I'm going to use an example of one of the designs, which is going to be my final in this case, and I'm going to show you how and where you need to put your cutting plane. So this is an example of a design which I'm going to regard as the final of one of the learners in the class. So what we need to do is we need to find firstly where our multi-panel doors are, and you will see one is here and one is on that side. So you need to determine which one will take the cutting plane. So I'm going to place that cutting plane like that here, and the reason for that is that the cutting plane cannot be parallel to the roof line, which is the top. So the cutting plane cannot be parallel to the apex of the roof. It has to be like that, which means that it's perpendicular to this line. So the cutting plane I'm going to put in right here in the middle. So I'm going to draw a line, and I'm using a red. Of course you must use your pencil. That's going to be my cutting plane, and I'm going to place my two triangles on top of my cutting plane like that there, and that will mean that I'll be standing here looking at all of this information on this side through my door, and the information that's in the backdrop as well, which is my pergola and my veranda that I will see here as well. Remember, you're going to see part of the roof coming down, and I will have to add my rainwater components as well, and all the foundation detail as well. So that is how you're going to start off your detail section, and this has to be done on your floor plan. Here I'm going to have another example. I'm going to find my multi-panel doors, and here I have those in my building, and I'm going to use my straight edge, my set square and my T-square to place my cutting plane, and in this case my cutting plane is going to be there as well, with my arrows on top there. And then of course remember, it is perpendicular to the pitch line of my roof. It cannot be like that where the line of my roof is parallel to my cutting plane. Then you won't be able to see the slanted side of the roof. So it has to be like that. So you need to find your multi-panel doors, you need to inspect the roof, and you need to place it in the same format that I've done now. I will then of course take all this information, which is to a scale of 1:75, and I'm going to zoom in and ensure that I have a drawing of 1:20. So what you can do is, whatever you see here must now be multiplied by 75 to bring it to an original real life measurement, and it has to be divided by 20 for you to scale it down to the detailed section. So keep in mind, whatever you measure here is to a scale of 75. I need to times whatever I measure here by 75 and then divide that by 20 to be able to get it to a detailed section. And that goes for all the dimensions that you normally see on here. So literally what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand over here, take a photo of this section, and then of course it's going to turn like that. And I'm going to draw everything that I see here on my blank sheet of paper, which I will start here. the detailed section. All we need to do is to evaluate that against our rubric, which we are going to use for marking purposes. So if you look at the section in accordance with the indicated cutting plane, we've done that. The foundation, slab and wall detail, including the correct hatching, we've done that as well. The wooden multi-panel sliding doors are indicated. We have a detail of 1.5 meter section of the veranda and the wooden pergola. Remember there I've used the break line because it's much wider. The roof detail, including all rainwater items, which would be the gutter and the rainwater downpipe, and the correct hatching of the wood, and that would be the crossing of the square rectangular pieces. Then we have the titles of the detailed section and the scale and all the labels, NGL and FFL. And then we have all the detailed dimensioning, which we have done. And of course, that the drawing is indicated to a scale of 1:20, correctly indicated with the break lines that have been requested in the instruction.